Is Rust still worth playing in 2026? After nearly a decade of wipes, betrayals, roof campers, and unforgettable moments, you'd think the formula might feel old. But then Facepunch dropped the Naval update, and suddenly the ocean isn't just background scenery anymore. It's a battlefield. It's a loot route. It's a new meta. So today, we're breaking down what Rust looks like in 2026, what the Naval update has actually changed, whether the player base is still strong, and most importantly, is Rust still worth your time in 2026? Now, before we talk naval warfare, we need to talk about Rust itself. Rust launched fully in 2018, but it has evolved every single year since. Monthly updates are still a thing. That alone separates it from most survival games. In 2026, Rust is no longer just hit a tree, build your 2x2, get raided, do it all over again. It's now a layered survival sandbox. You have complex electricity systems, industrial automation, modular vehicles, submarines, dynamic events, AI compounds, and now the full naval combat. This map truly feels alive. Safe zones like outpost and bandit camps still exist, but most of the world is ruthless, and that core identity hasn't changed. Rust is still brutal. You still lose everything, you still get betrayed, but that's exactly why it works. The tension is real because the stakes are real. And in 2026, that tension now extends far beyond the land. Now let's talk about the biggest shift Rust has seen in years, the Naval update. It didn't just add boats, it fundamentally expanded the playable space. Before this update, boats were basic transport tools. But now, you build them, you customize them, you weaponize them. Players can now choose hull types, install engines, add storage modules, mount cannons, place defensive elements, and even create mobile sea bases. This means ocean travel it's no longer passive. It's strategic. Fuel management matters. Your crew size will matter. Your loadout's going to matter. And I would probably advise going solo on the ocean. It's going to be risky. But if you're going as a coordinated group, that's going to be powerful. The ocean used to be an empty space between oil rigs. Now it's a high-risk, high-reward biome. The deep sea now includes new islands, abandoned ships, floating structures, high-tier loot zones, and even dynamic sea events. You're not just sailing across the water anymore, you're entering contested territory. And because it's further from land, it changes the pacing. Clans will now control the shipping routes. Ambushes will happen offshore. Return trips will be tense with the loot you've collected. And you can't just respawn nearby if you lose a fight at sea. Logistics, they're going to matter now more than ever. Scientists now patrol certain waters. Some ships act as a roaming PvE event. Naval missions encourage the exploration. And what this does is it adds a PvE layer for players who prefer smaller groups, don't want constant land raiding, and enjoy event-based progression. It doesn't replace PvP, but it does diversify the gameplay. And that's important for long-term survival of any game. So, what does this actually mean for Rust players? It changes the wipe cycle. Traditionally, wipes look like this: primitive rush, tier 2 fights, oil rig dominance, rocket raids, and then the server dies. Now, there's a mid-game sea phase. Clans rush to secure naval dominance. Control of the ocean routes means control of loot flow. Large groups will probably now split into forces. You'll have land-based defenses and ocean patrol teams. Smaller groups can avoid land zergs by going offshore. And it also opens up alternative progression paths, and that's going to be huge. Because one of Rust's biggest problems in the past was the zerg dominance. But the ocean spread players out. It doesn't eliminate big groups. but it does reduce the choke points, and that alone makes the wipe feel more fresh. So let's now address the real question. Is Rust still active? It is. Rust remains one of the most consistently played survival games on Steam. Monthly updates have always kept interest alive, the community servers thrive, modded servers are even stronger, and content creators still generate millions of views from Rust story videos. The game hasn't plateaued like many survival titles. It's actually evolved. And the Naval update sparked a noticeable surge of returning players. Veterans came back. New players were curious. Servers suddenly felt alive again. And that says a lot. Let's be real. Rust isn't perfect in 2026. It still has a brutal learning curve, occasional cheater problems, toxic player interactions, time commitment demands. The Naval update doesn't fix these. So, if you don't enjoy high-stake PvP, you still won't enjoy Rust. If you hate losing progress, you'll still hate the wipes. But if you understand what Rust is supposed to be, these aren't flaws, they're features. Rust isn't casual. It's survival with consequence, and that identity has not changed. So here's the honest answer. Is Rust still worth playing in 2026? Yes. If you want a survival game that still evolves, if you enjoy unpredictable player-driven chaos, and if naval combat, deep sea exploration, and new strategic layers excite you, the Naval update isn't just extra content. It expands the game's vertical and long-term replay value. So Rust in 2026 feels bigger than ever. It's more dangerous, more cinematic, more layered, but it is still Rust. Brutal, unforgiving, and addictive. So now I want to hear from you. Are you still playing Rust in 2026? Have you tried the new Naval update yet? Would you rather dominate the land or rule the sea? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into evolving survival games like this, hit the subscribe button, because next we might be breaking down whether Arden or DayZ can compete with Rust. We'll see you in the next one.